So back to Raw. Are we getting back to Raw? So Damian Priest confronts R-Truth because he's been selling Judgment Day t-shirts in the parking lot. And he's pissed about that until R-Truth hands him a huge, ridiculous stack of $100 bills. Like, I had to have a sold-out Superdome to make that much money in the parking lot if everybody bought one, right? And so then Priest says, all right, then just keep it quiet and don't tag in tonight when it's Miz and you against me and Finn. Because R-Truth thinks since he beat JD Funko, he's in the Judgment Day, but the Judgment Day don't want him around. And blah, 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 sis boom bah. You get, have I explained it to the people enough? This is what I'm not. Yes, R-Truth is a very funny gentleman. But if they're supposed to be the top heel group, this is a little fucking silly, isn't it? A little, and they take it a little too far later on? Do they not?
You know, it's so weird because they're in the middle of serious stuff and then they always go back to this R-Truth thing. And I don't mind him messing around with JD Funko and now you got me calling him that. JD McDonough and Dom and Nick Mysterio. I guess those are Dom and Nick, those two guys.
Yes, yes. Is Nick okay? I hadn't seen him around.
See, some of that I find funny, but
yes.
The idea that Priest hates him and he's like, here's some merch money. He's like, oh shit, merch money. Yeah, I've never sold a t-shirt. Like, what the fuck? What was that reaction? By the way, the IRS is going to see this video of all this cash.
Yeah.
They'd hand it out. That defeats the whole purpose of a cash business. So I don't know what.
Let's jump ahead in the chronology of this because we've got to go to later on the tag team match. There's more money being bandied about. They almost did the fucking match of me and Jimmy Hart and Bobby Eaton. We had $200 in crumpled up ones, and I got knocked out for it, and the ring filled up with 40 fucking people. They were throwing thousands of dollars in what looked like legitimate money. Might have been stage money, but how are the fucking people going to know? I'm surprised they didn't have a few dive in there to get a few stray ones. But the tag team match that they had was The Miz and R-Truth against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And before the match even starts, R-Truth pulls out, again, it's if they're hundreds, which they're clearly on camera, it's tens of thousands of dollars, and he's dropping bills everywhere, and he's pulling it out, and he just hands it, some of it to Balor, and then he gives Dominic a wad of it. And JD said, well, what about me? And he's like, well, your name ain't on the shirt. And The Miz, who's supposed to be R-Truth's partner, is standing there dumbfounded. So then R-Truth starts the match to fight the group that he thinks he's in. And Finn, who doesn't like him, attacks him. But when R-Truth fights back, he apologizes. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So then Finn will take over on him again. And R-Truth will ask Priest, well, what's up with Finn? Doesn't he know this is, I'm on your side?
Remember, Priest said to him in that promo, don't tag in.
Well, he didn't tag in. He started the match.
Right, he never tagged out, so he never tagged in, but that was the instruction.
And that's what I'm saying. They go through a break with this, and they come out, they beat up R-Truth for a while. Finally, he tags Miz. Miz makes the comeback and throws Priest over the announce desk. And then as he's kicking the shit out of Balor, R-Truth tags himself back in. There's where he tagged in. And then he hit a big kick on Balor, and then, oh shit, and it starts apologizing. And so Miz nails Dominic. R-Truth nails JD off the apron. Priest hits a knee lift on Miz. R-Truth goes to hit Priest, but Priest turns around and says, whoa, I thought we were friends. And while they're interacting, Finn schoolboys R-Truth from behind, but R-Truth kicks out and kicks Finn. And then Priest choke slams R-Truth, and Finn covers him 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That's what this was. It was. I wish they'd elevate the Judgment Day out of falderall like this, is what I'm saying.
There are fans who believe this is WWE's attempt to make R-Truth this year's Sami Zayn with the Bloodline, with his attempts to be involved with and the segments that evolve from his involvement with the Judgment Day.
Sammy wasn't an idiot. Sammy wasn't a comedy goofball. He was in that mousetrap match, but I don't think he would have booked that for himself. Sammy was the little weaselly hanger-on that ended up being kind of a nice guy at heart with that hangdog expression you couldn't help but think was cute and wanted to pat him on the head. None of that, I don't think, applies to R-Truth here in this scenario.
Well, we shall see. It's going to be funny when it turns out, like, wait a minute, someone does the math. How did he get all this money? And it turns out he just emptied his savings because he wanted to be in their group. So he just started handing them cash, claiming there were t-shirt sales. But there were no shirt sales. No one bought any shirts.
No one bought the shirts, Jerry.
Wouldn't WWE legal shut him down if he was in the parking lot selling bootleg shirts?
Well, isn't that the whole idea, is that it's preposterous on the face of it and potentially some racial overtones because he's an African-American man hustling something out of the back of his car in a parking lot? Or, I mean,
So you don't think he'll be Sami Zayn? He'll be the breakout. There'll be the big thing where he gets the title shot at the end and he's serious.
The only way that he's going to break out is if he's sentenced first.
All right. Well, there was more to the sentence that was Monday Night Raw this week.
Well, they had Dominic and JD Funko, all three of them, against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Sameface. And I love Tommaso, but life is short. And if they ever dump Gargano, I would watch Tommaso. But they went through 2 breaks with this match and still only aired about 7 or 8 minutes of it. But they the babyfaces beat JD with he's on his knees in the middle of the ring and they run and give him a double knee lift from both sides. That is a shit finish. The guy has no bump to take. It shows no tag team continuity. We're not talking about the fucking rocket launcher, or the double goozler, or the doomsday device, or the fucking whatever the fuck. We're talking about running and knee lifting the guy while he's already on his knees and it... Anyway, that was followed by a girls' tag team match, playa. Would you like to know what followed that?
What followed that?
Well, there's still tension back there with Priest, as I mentioned in the Judgment Day, because Priest is telling the Judgment Day that he had talked to Adam Pearce about Drew McIntyre running his mouth, blaming him for all his problems. And that's when old JD asked, why aren't we beating up R-Truth? And Priest blew him off and pulled out the shirt money and said they should find him and get their cut. And that's when they got their cut later on in their match. But there is, and Rhea is starting to get short temper, snippy, if you will, with Priest. Have you noticed?
I think she's the closest to breaking out and being a babyface than anyone else in that group right now.
I don't know, because she's already accomplished it. When she's on her own, she's a babyface. When she's with the group, they still love her, but they will work with her instead of hijacking the match.